So we have some breaking news tonight. A trade war may be heating up with China. President Trump directing aides to identify $200 billion worth of Chinese goods for possible new tariffs. And China's threatening retaliation. So I want to bring in now senior political commentators Angela Rye and Scott Jennings. Good evening to both of you. Good to see you. So Scott, in a statement issued by the Chinese government, Commerce Ministry, I should say, the Chinese government responded to new threats of these additional tariffs by the U.S. by saying, this is a quote, "It will strike back hard." Should we be worried?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we should be worried because a trade war could mean rising prices for American consumers. It could hurt people who produce things in the United States that want to export them. There was a big layout in the Des Moines Register this weekend about soybeans, for instance. I will say, though, Don, on the other hand, politically, there are a lot of Americans who are expecting the president to follow through on his threats during the campaign to crack down on China because they believe previous administrations haven't done it. So I think the politics of this may take a long time to manifest itself because it could take some time for people to feel, consumers to feel the real effects of a trade war.
What do you think, Angela?
Well, a number of things. One is it would be interesting to see for once Donald Trump be consistent about something. I think just a couple of weeks ago we were warring with the idea of whether or not there would be this positive relationship with China or not because of a potential business interest for Ivanka, and now this. So I'm just interested to see when he's going to go with something and stick with it, not just a debate on Twitter and not just a random threat. It's just going to be interesting to see what he does.
So, Angela, I want to turn now to the issue of families at the border. During President Trump's campaign, or candidate Trump's campaign, he spoke a lot about dangerous migrants crossing the border, pledged to crack down. But do you think that anyone expected the separation of children from their parents?
I think a number of us expected this and whatever is coming that will be worse. I think shame on all of us who were not able to stop this very dangerous man in his tracks during the election. We knew what he thought about migrant families, about immigrants, regardless of how they got here. During the campaign, the very first day of his campaign, Don, we know that he said that there were drug dealers and rapists crossing the border. Now he's saying murderers. So I think the reality of it is we knew exactly who he was. We know exactly who he is and who he's going to be. Now it's up to us and those in elected of office to hold him responsible. Dianne Feinstein has a bill that she's introduced, and it is up to every courage-lacking Republican to sign on to this bill and ensure their support for these families. This is child abuse at the border and needs to be stopped immediately.
Scott, do you have any concern that the more hardline immigration hawks in the party are winning the debate?
Well, what I'm more worried about is that we're not going to get to a comprehensive immigration solution. Most Republicans absolutely support the president cracking down on violent criminals crossing over here and coming here illegally. They support the president wanting to crack down on the flow of drugs coming across our southern border. The trouble is these babies, these little girls, you know, the pictures we've seen, they don't look too much like MS-13 to most Americans. They look like innocent children who are being caught up in a bad policy. So what the president needs to do overall here, in my opinion, go up to the House Republican conference meeting tomorrow night, fully endorse the moderate bill that's in the House, make it the Trump bill, get them to pass it, send it to the Senate. The Republicans need to rally in the Senate, and then the ball is squarely in the Democrats' court. They will then have to deliver the votes, and that bill has to have language in it that prevents these separations.
Didn't he already say he's not going to support that?
He has said he will support it, but he needs to make it clear, because there have been moments in the past where the president has said, I'll support this, and then they pass it, and then he has said, well, maybe I don't support that. He cannot bail on this. He's got to support it, let them vote, and then stick with it all the way through. If it is the Trump plan, the Republicans will support it all the way through.
All right, Angela, I just want you to listen now. This is for you, and you can answer, and I think say what you want to say on the other side. Attorney General Jeff Sessions asked tonight on Fox News about comparisons between this policy and Nazi Germany. Here's his response.
Nazi Germany, concentration camps, human rights violations. Laura Bush has weighed in, Michelle Obama, Rosalind Carter, got all the first ladies going back to Eleanor Roosevelt. She's apparently weighed in as well. General Sessions, what's going on here?
Well, it's a real exaggeration. Of course, in Nazi Germany, they were keeping the Jews from leaving the country. But this is a serious matter. We need to think it through, be rational and thoughtful about it. We want to allow asylum for people who qualify for it.
Angela?
First of all, This is no laughing matter, particularly from the Attorney General, who is responsible for enforcing laws throughout this country. The reality that we're facing is, one, Scott, no, these children are not MS-13s. They don't just not look like them. They really are not. I also want to address your point about the Democrats need to rally the votes. I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out when the Democrats became the majority in the Senate or the House.
Well,
and then finally,
I hate to have to explain rudimentary Senate procedure to you, but there'll have to be 60 votes in the Senate. There'll have to be 60. We have 51. You all have to come up with 9.
I'm going to tell you what. Here's the thing. You don't ever have to explain anything rudimentary to me.
Good.
So be
then
clear.
You know.
Be
then
very
you know.
clear. No, so what I'm telling you is you should know that they have more than enough votes to do what they need to do. If there was a good
Do they have
member,
60? Can you count to 60? We have 51. The Democrats have to send 9. Come on.
So the problem, no, you come on, you better watch it, Scott, seriously. What I'm trying to tell you is that you have a majority, and so it's up to the Democrats, a small number, to come up with the rest. And here's what you're battling with.
Right.
Morals. Moral authority. Where is the moral authority of this party that has blindly endorsed all of Trump's bigotry, xenophobia, racism? That is what is behind this policy. The reality that we are all facing now is there are children paying the penalty for no reason when their parents are coming here seeking asylum. You have heard the panelists on this program tonight telling you these people are seeking asylum, but your Attorney General doesn't know any better because they haven't asked the questions. They have not taken a single moment to find out why these people are risking their lives to come to this soil where they're put in even more harm's way.
I'm out of time, guys. I'm out of time. I have to go. I'm sorry. We will be right back.